All right. Hello, everyone. This is Tiffany, also known as the Perfectly Wise. I'm coming again here with our June intuitive guidance session or reading. Um, so let's recap here. Yeah, for some reason here, as I was kind of tapping into my meditation and kind of getting a read for what we should be expecting or looking forward here in June, I was really called there to provide a bit of a recap there coming from May, which we're technically still in right now. We have, like about a week until we're done with this month here, but I believe definitely would be helpful here, not only from this session here, but also moving forward there, that there be sort of some connective threads there drawn there from the previous months there. So I kind of know I wrote down some notes here. All right, so recap here. So you might recall here, if you haven't already been aware of this past Friday here, May 22nd, was the new moon in Gemini. New moon periods, obviously, as I've said before here, are really great periods there if you have new goals, new intentions, really good time frames to really kind of set those intentions there. In the May session here, in the May intuitive guidance session here, I mentioned there was a couple themes there, as we projected would be happening and really here in May, around this notion of reconciliation, reformation, and a new world order. So in the place there of reconciliation, there was a notion there wherein you might feel called. You might have felt called there. There may have been sort of an internal impetus that drew you there, or some sort of external circumstance or situation there, that on the side there of reconciliation, really, if not in provoking outward action, like explicit action there, proactive action, certainly at least as far as a reforming and a contemplation there around this notion of reconciliation. And obviously there in the May session that I spoke to, reconciliation that we were talking about here are those notions there of between the masculine and feminine within yourself, between all sort of those seemingly opposing notions within yourself of, again, masculine, feminine, lights and shadows, good and evil, kind of getting a little bit away from necessarily the extremes, operating in the extremes of those notions, but really fortifying a sense of unity within those imprints. That reconciliation also might have drawn you in the notion of reconciling, or at least bringing about a sense of peace there as far as your relationships with others, especially as they resonated there on the soul level. So we're talking divine counterparts, your twin flames, your soulmates, those you have those really strong karmic ties and connections and contracts with, bringing about a sense of unity within those spaces there, and also really on a larger community level there, really reforming your notions of how you're showing up in your communities there, reforming and reimagining here a structure of how you show up within those spaces. So that also you might have felt, especially if not even within yourself, certainly in the world order here, in the larger order here, that's been a big theme. So there's that. There's also another level here, particularly on the level there of world order. And this is sort of leading, as I kind of tapped into meditation and kind of got the feel here, this is definitely bleeding into more specifically in June there. This notion here, particularly of the new world order. Along that vertical here, there's a notion there that with all that is happening, that's all that's been happening, all that's been going on here, it's really forced a lot of, on the one side, a contemplation of our existing world order, as far as our structures within our government, within our healthcare systems, within our economies. Do these really work? I'm drawn to President Obama. About a little over a week ago, he gave a commencement address where, in speaking to the class of 2020, which congratulations to that class. I have a cousin who graduated from college recently, so congratulations, love you, very proud of you, Lauren. But anyways, yeah, in that class there he made the speech there wherein, one among other things, one of the inconvenient truths that really this pandemic situation has revealed here has been this notion here that our existing structures, how we do things here, how things are, have been performed here within our systems, economic, healthcare, and so on and such forth, really has not been right. Or at the very least here, it's forcing a need for us to reform and reframe those structures, and how in a lot of ways here, this emerging class here, in this case, he was speaking to the class of 2020, but really on a larger scale there in the emerging generation here, the impetus and the power that they really hold here, we really hold here in reforming and restructuring really ultimately what does not work and what does us is disservice. So there's that theme also that's going on. And I'm getting this read here, especially as it goes into June here, where we're going to be settling into, and this is kind of the theme I'm perceiving here for June here, where June is really going to be the new normal, so to speak. Settling into the new normal, reframing, understanding what that actually is, and also in very tangible ways, they're laying down that groundwork here for our new normal. So a couple examples, especially again, as it sort of resonated there in that I was drawn to in meditation that I wrote down the notes were for one of the new normals here. If even on just a cosmetic fashion based level here, I'm a fashion girl, always tend to look to fashion, creative, artistic trends. So I guess it was relevant there that jumped out there as an example. But one here as far as mask wearing. About a couple of days ago, I was reading a couple articles in Vogue magazine, American Vogue, where they were speaking to this new trend here as far as mask wearing. You have fashion brands like Palm Angels, Jean Paul Gaultier, Christian Siriano, Fendi, who have recently jumped on the mask wearing fashion trend here. You might have seen an Instagram there, like people are selling these. Etsy has a prominent landing page featuring, folks that are designing new masks here. And there's a notion here where, with all of that new trend here, if mask wearing, especially as it resonates there for not only just safeguarding our health, but also really in operating in best practice and service to others as we go into communal spaces. And increasingly so here as sort of restrictions get to be kind of loosened a little bit. I was reading also about airlines, as they're kind of starting to kind of get more flights back on board there's a little bit more creeping demand there from in the airline industry. These new procedures they're handing out masks there, standard to all customers there. So there's a notion here that given that this is going to be our new normal, particularly as it resonates there on the fashion level, why not make it fashionable? Why not making it aesthetically pleasing if this is going to be our new normal? So there's that trend also. And along that vertical, I was also getting another theme here in June. This notion around purification and the safeguarding of our health. And this health that I was getting here was health as it resonates there on multiple levels, on different levels. So most obviously, we're all kind of thinking about and have been contending with our physical health. But I also was getting a lot of notions here around our spiritual health, our physical health, our psychological health, our mental health. And a notion here where more specifically in our practices and our rituals and our routines, there's a notion here where if it hasn't already resonated for you here, certainly I'm perceiving here where it will be in best practice and really good practice there and really fortifying those rituals. So, say on the spiritual level here, if you've been a person who maybe you've kind of tried to maybe get into meditation and being in stillness, and maybe you've kind of tried it, but not really, it's kind of inconsistent. You meditate some days and maybe not other days. I'm getting this notion very strongly here, for example, along that vertical here, where you're going to have an opportunity, and certainly if there are resources available to you to really kind of lock down there that ritual, make it a common practice and a common sort of ritual for yourself, do so. It's going to serve you well, especially in settling in here to the new normal. You might have gotten a new notion here after the initial gluttony of the pandemic period and being in home. Maybe you've gotten over the whole gluttony, overeating, kind of that lazy, lackadaisical couch potato kind of vibe and energy there on the front end here of the pandemic. You might find yourself kind of pittering a little bit out of that. Like I said, being at home home and being in that space there is now so normal there. So there's a notion here where perhaps you're reforming and kind of rethinking about sort of new rituals there, as far as, say, how you exercise, your eating habits there, and you not maybe going out or having the ability to go out so much. Maybe you're reframing notions there of like cooking from home. And so I was really didn't want to kind of go too much into that there, break it down there across all categories. But yeah, I was also getting that as well. And I'm perceiving again in June that's going to serve us well. And then finally, I also got this notion here about in the workplace. Again, it's kind of the new normal, but also again, there was an offshoot there, a message that I was getting there as far as the workplace and how we really think about work. So I think Forbes had an article. I read an article in Forbes the other day where workplaces now, especially those who, thankfully, gratefully, were able to move their operations from storefront to online. They were able to have their employees work remotely there. I'm getting there where there's a notion there, especially as, stay-at-home orders get, in June there are a lot of those stay-at-home orders there are expiring in June. People are kind of starting to think about, okay, how do we reintegrate back into the workplace here? There's a notion here where business leaders and such here are going to be rethinking how do we really think about work for our employees, for these physical spaces where we've invested and we're putting in money to pay rent for. Do we really need them? And also for employees as well, there's a notion here wherein, do I really want to do the big commute? Do I want to be spending money and spending time in traffic, spending gas money? Actually, all things considered, maybe I actually really like working from home. And so there's companies also necessarily, especially as it relates to work at home policies here. Whereas before there might have been a notion of like, no, we can't do this. They're kind of more gun shy about that. There's an imperative now where employees maybe pushing for that a little bit more. And along that vertical here, really kind of getting you really fortifying a new day-to-day there as far as their family life, how much time they have to be with their family, how much time that with them working from home now and spending more time in that space now, how that is, again, influences their family life, their time to do their rituals. Right? Because there's this notion here where, and especially as it regards to physical exercise, cooking from home, having more time to meditate and reflect and do more creative projects, there is a sense of time that's sort of built into doing so and really giving yourself that space to doing so. So anyways, yeah, those were some of kind of the notes there that I figured I'd kind of just jump out there. Obviously, I'm still going to do a reading here, which might either confirm the message or, confirm those notions there, or maybe even bring up a little bit more information there for June. But yeah, so that was kind of what I was kind of getting there, especially again in that connective thread from May, as we're still, again, we're kind of we're in a new moon in Gemini period here towards the end of May there and going into June. So anyways, that being said, let's see here what the beings of light have to tell us for June. And today I am drawing from the Cosmic Tarot deck. So let's see. All right. Okay. All right. Let's cut the deck here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, pull up this chair here. Okay, all right. Let's see. All right. Beautiful angels. Ascended masters. Creatures of the elemental realm. Brothers and sisters across all galaxies and realms. I thank you for another day of love, life, and purpose on this earthly plane. I ask you, And speaking to what we can expect here in June, we should be keeping in mind. Whoop. Oh. Okay. All right. This one did not come up face down there, so I'm not going to take that one that fell. But way to start with a bang here. The Tower. Oy vey. Okay. We're coming in hot. Okay. There's that, but of course. Okay. Yeah, we're starting out hot here. Okay. The Tower. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of mass shifts there. Yeah. All that has been old has been destroyed and won't be the same again. Yeah. Getting that immediately, just right off the top here. Okay. All right. Interesting. Led as always and channeled as always by my own intuition. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Are these all ours? Take all of these? Yes. Okay. So there's Six of Cups. A nostalgia of the old. I see. Interesting. Nostalgia of the... Oh, I'm getting some resistance. Oh, here we are. Okay. There might be some resistance. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, so Six of Cups. Three of Swords. Four of Pentacles. And Princess of Pentacles. Or Page of Pentacles. Yeah, otherwise known as the Page of Pentacles. Oh, there's shifts, but there's someone here. Yeah, there's influences and energies here who are resisting. They're not seeing it as the beautiful, magical change, the opportunistic change that it actually is, or that could be. There's a holding on here. There's an energetic holding on here to what is in fact shifted and changed. Oh dear. Okay. Yikes. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, immediately I'm getting here I see. In this shift here and in this new creation here. Interesting. I'm getting almost like, I'm getting like there's two kind of bifurcating. There are two different ways here in which we're projecting here in June where folks will be taking the shift. And it's massive and it's cataclysmic, and there's a notion here in this shift within our societies, within our relationships, within our structures here. It's well, first of all, it was in divine order. Yeah, it wasn't random. It wasn't just some unfortunate thing. It happened for a good reason. It was divinely ordered. So that's just kind of off the top clarifying and making that very clear. With all chaos, and all things that shift and all things that change, and especially in catastrophes, and you necessarily we would definitely consider a global pandemic a catastrophe, which is illustrated here in this Tower energy. In fact, there was a divine order and mandate that was built into that development, as it has in the weeks and months here, as affected our globe, our scale. And in that way here, there is almost a non-discriminatory, random place there where that shift and that catastrophe really hits. I see. Because there's a notion here where it's not just happening to you, the you individually, it's happening to everybody. It's affected everybody. So in that way here, there almost is a way there where you can't necessarily, although you might sort of go into a bit of victim mode here oh, woe is me, a bit of that woe is me sort of notion there. The fact of the matter is, and the reality of the truth here is that this has affected everybody. And again, it was in within a higher divine order and mandate. I'm getting really off the top here, two diverging paths here and opportunities. And how in this new normal here, you really take, you really take this shift as the aftermath of it. Yeah, I'm drawn to, yeah, I'm drawn to, it's almost like the rubble. Yeah, I'm drawn to the illustration, particularly of like the rubble that's kind of falling onto the ground here and settling in and seeping into the earth here. There's a divergent path here that will become very clear here in June as to how we are resonating and how different folks in our collective here are really taking the new normal. On the one path here, on the good side of it, you have, some folks here who very well might be taking to these changes quite well, adapting. I see, yeah, adapting quite well to these changes and bringing in new ideas there as it relates to tangible earth-based creations, how they get to really live, how they really get to create and live on earth, what that really looks like, what are those opportunities. Oh, I see. You might be learning something new also. Yeah. You might find yourself learning sort of new notions here. Yeah, I'm getting, this is resonating in multiple levels here in this Princess of Pentacles energy. So you might find yourself becoming newly skilled and certified there in a new course of study, a new certification, generally taking on a new hobby, reading more, just kind of building up that stack base of knowledge and wisdom and expertise. I'm getting that. There's that opportunity there. You might come into there might be new emerging business ideas and creative ventures. Oh, yeah, I'm getting that. There are new business opportunities. I see. There are new business and creative enterprises and ideas there that you might find yourself really inspired by, and that really might be percolating and making itself even more clear, especially in this particular time frame here in June, where a lot of what's going to be happening here is going to be rethinking and really kind of implementing how we get to reintegrate, you know what I mean? Like how office spaces are going to be reopening, how communal spaces are going to be reopening and people letting folks back in, building back in capacity to hold people together. I'm getting that in this Princess of Pentacles energy. You might be adding on a new skill set also. Yeah. That's coming in also clearly here for this Princess of Pentacles energy. You might find yourself stepping into a new expertise. A lot of this is resonating in education. Yeah, I'm getting that. A lot in education, in that discipline. Yeah. Learning. I see. Learning new tricks, learning new skills, building up that reservoir here. And going into June, doing something with this, presenting anew with that newly built up skill set. I'm also getting side gigs. Yeah, interesting. I'm getting a lot in this energy. Yeah, I'm also getting new side gigs. Yeah, new business ventures, new business opportunities, new side gigs. Yeah, I'm getting that. Or if you haven't already, because perhaps before you perceived in all this, in all this massive shift and all this sort of bad news and cataclysm and just everything, the world just seems to be set on fire. As the dust and the rubble of that has sort of settled in and seeped in a little bit more, and it becomes certainly you feel like you may perceive here where the destruction and the devastation of it certainly doesn't hit. It doesn't feel as immediately disruptive and terrible as it once did. Perhaps maybe back in March or April and such. That's been a big change there and shift. Yeah, I'm getting that in the Princess of Pentacles energy here. Learning new tricks, implementing new skill sets. Um, yeah, I'm getting that. So that's one path here. Here's the other path, which, true to form here in this Three of Swords energy, really is the bad news bears of this. Getting so much resistance, and yeah, I'm getting some resistance and some misguided nostalgia. Yeah, I'm getting that. In this Four of Pentacles, as it's combining out here in the combination of the Six of Cups and the Four of Pentacles energy here, this shift, these shifts, these massive changes that's been come forth here, that's been brought forth here in this Tower energy, I'm getting here where a different piece of this collective, this other part of this collective here, has not taken the developments well. There's been a lot of resistance. There's been a lot of fighting this. I'm getting a real stubborn fighting of this. And a big axis of this has come through the place of nostalgia. Looking back, maybe too much so in sentimentality and attachment here and holding on here, too much to past memories and a past existence that, I'm going to be quite honest here, is not coming back. And that's dear children, that is the axis of the new normal that we were speaking to, just earlier. It's not going to be the same. Yeah. I'm getting in this Four of Pentacles energy, there's a real resistance to this. And there is a lack of seeing, here, or at least an unwillingness because you've been so caught up there in the bad news. I'm getting there in the Three of Swords energy where and it might have very well be tangible setbacks. Like you could have lost your job. Like this news, this development here as it's resonating here in this Three of Swords energy could have been you losing your job. Yeah, it could have been you losing your job. It could have been in you, losing an opportunity. Maybe you had something manifested and created here, but then it completely shifted and changed. Maybe there's interesting. I'm getting here like a canceled contract. Yeah, canceled contracts, agreements here that no longer was to be amidst all that shift and change in the Tower energy. And you're holding on to that. You're having a hard time. Yeah, I'm getting there's a piece of this collective here that's having a hard time really stepping into the illumined opportunity of that time, of that shift and of that change, of that most recent, albeit disappointing development. Yeah. I'm getting a lack of adaptability. Interesting. Yeah, a key axis that's jumping out here in this Princess of Pentacles energy there as it relates to, again, like new courses of study, new skill sets, getting a side hustle, a side gig, maybe even launching a new business, like those sort of new found there that's based there in the very tangible way there in your earth-based life here. A key part of this, a key axis of this was adaptability, being able to adapt. Being able to see and perceive, again, they're drawing me in particular here in the illustration of this Tower energy. You see here, there's the all-seeing eye of Horus, and how in a lot of ways there in that offshoot there, like that is the seeing, divinely ordered resonance here that brought about this change and cataclysm in the first place. Some were able to perceive this and thus do something with this and this Princess of Pentacles energy. Others did not. The blindedness, the unwillingness to see is what is creating a lot of nostalgia, a holding on to the past, a holding on to oh man, I remember when I used to be able to do this. I used to be able to go to it could be in so many different ways. I used to be able to go to go out to brunch and do concerts and have my hot girl summer, or I had a job, or I used to do it's a lot of that kind of running on a loop track there. Yeah, and you can't get over here where that's just not to be anymore. And it's for good reason. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Any other messages? Ooh. Three of Pentacles. And so fact, dear children, we were working with you. We were never working against you. We were working with you. These changes are to help you. That's jumping out here in this Three of Pentacles energy. Yeah. These changes, these shifts, this destruction, this clearing out of the old, which did not serve, right? That's why it's cleared out in the first place. That's why it was destroyed in the first place. Again, jumping out there and connecting back in May here, in this month here, how we've really contended with our world order or structure, those notions here that did not work, right? Those, yeah, it didn't work. It had to be cleared out there for good reason. So in that way here, in so fact, dear children, we were working with you. Yeah. The more you work with us and step into this notion here that all that has developed here has been done to serve you, the better. Because that is the reality. That is how it is. Yeah, that's jumping out here in this Three of Pentacles energy. Yeah, and I'm also getting in this progression here in the Princess of Pentacles or Page of Pentacles to the Three of Pentacles here. In these ideas here, in these new notions, in these new dropped in skill sets and courses of education and study that you're pursuing here, I'm getting the opportunity here in June where, as far as how it really leads you and carries you for here, there's a real opportunity here of expansion that it affords you in this Three of Pentacles energy. And also as it relates to others working with you. Yeah. Others working with you. Others who similarly, I see. Others who are similarly adapting correctly in their own way, jumping into new creative ideas and notions here about, okay, well, how do we get to really reform and really exist here in this new normal here? I want to work with you because our work here is aligned. Yeah, our work here is aligned. Our new ideas and our new priorities here are aligned. So let's figure out how to work together and build in a certain way there where with all of our individual contributions, yeah, it helps us in mutually beneficial ways and in harmonious ways. Yeah. I'm getting that in the combination of the Princess of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. Yeah. 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 And it's also quite interesting. There are 2 3s on the table here, which again, I'm getting here where there is the divergent. In that divergence here of the, in that divergence of our collective here in June, as it's going to be resonating here, there's a divergence here, especially in the similarity of numbers here, in the Three of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. I see. And in that axis of expansion, if you are part of that collective or you settle into that mentality and notion here about you're holding on to the past, you're holding on to how things used to be, you're still maybe hung up on maybe your lost job or your lost opportunity and, oh my gosh, this sucks, that bad news spreads on top of itself in the axis of 3. If you in so fact though adapted and got to see the opportunity, jumped into a new course of study and education and building, that also builds. Whatever that you choose, it builds. Wherever you go in June, it's going to build. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Let's cut this deck here real quick. Here are the messages of love, light, healing, and wisdom for June for our collective. And anything else we should be keeping in mind? Oh, interesting. The High Priestess and the Emperor. Interesting. Oh, this just got very cosmic and spiritual. Interesting. And internal. Internal. There are new norms. Oh, I see. They're new new steadfast norms and structures here. Because ultimately that's what this period was all made for. That's the purpose of it. Interesting. I'm getting that in the Emperor energy. Again, affirming here, that was the whole point of this time frame and of the massive changes that's been brought forth here within this time frame. Hmm. Hmm. I'm also getting a 360. Oh, interesting. I'm also getting a 360 mastery of self, of home, of structure, and also in the High Priestess energy of internal being. That will suit, for those who step into that resonance, it will suit you well in June and in the coming months afterwards. Interesting. Interesting. There is, I'm getting in the Emperor energy, the initiative of where you go in these divergent paths. I see. And also in the High Priestess energy, what you know to be true. Yeah, a sinking in of internal knowing here of what you know and understand to be true. What you know for yourself. What you know about yourself and for yourself. Getting into and minding some deep internal truths. Interesting. Oh, interesting. And I'm also getting in this combination here where in what you conceive here, in what you conceive of and bring forth here in a very tangible way there, as it relates to, I'm getting there in your home life, in your work life, in your spiritual life, in your relationships with others, just in the whole 360 experience of you. You can't rely on others around you anymore. You can't rely on what you're seeing around you. You have to rely on yourself and be true to yourself. Interesting. I see. You're going to be learning about yourself. There is an opportunity here where in this divergent paths, you get to also very necessarily learn about yourself. Yeah, I'm getting that. Yeah, especially in this combination here with the Princess of Pentacles energy we were speaking to. I'm speaking to, was coming out there as far as education. Yeah. Oh, I see. This education and learning process there, it's on the one side here, especially as it would jump out and resonate there in the Emperor energy here, because so much of that power for that, what I perceive in that power here is in the tangible, is in the very is in the kind of like the getting shit done, the real sort of straightforward getting shit done piece there. But I'm getting there. There's an essential balance here, and as much important there as it resonates there, not only in what's your tangible life, but also in your internal life. And the learning axis there goes both ways. In those divergent paths there, as it's come out and has been forced here in all this shift, in this case here, we can say the pandemic, the coronavirus, like we could say this is been the axis here of the tower. This has been our collective tower moments, so to speak there. Yeah, we get to learn as much about what's outside of us as we learn about what's inside of ourselves in this High Priestess energy. And in that learned process here, I'm getting where this is supported in ritual. Yeah, because that's what's jumping out in combination with the Emperor energy. In that Emperor energy here, the Emperor loves his rituals. He loves his routines. He loves his tangible. He loves, it's not just sort of speaking to like, oh yeah, like for example, like, oh yeah, I should, go meditate more. Like, oh yeah, I should work out more. Or, oh yeah, I've been wanting to kind of go after that opportunity or maybe start studying that. Like maybe, yeah. I'm getting here a very sharp sense here where we get past the hypotheticals and just the ideas here, because especially as it gets to expand and that opportunity, which I would say this is like the good part of the divergence here. Like I it doesn't suit you well to be caught up in to be caught up here in a nostalgic past and to cycle in the bad news of that nostalgia. that doesn't serve you. You know, you may not realize it. Yeah, it's very. It may be very well here that you still struggle with that for for whatever your reasons are. That's fine. But I would imagine here as it resonates there in your growth and how you get to really grow in your power, grow in your presence here. Just really, ascend. Yeah, ascend as a person here. Yeah, it's getting beyond just the idea of how you do that, but really getting into the tangible of how you do that. And how, again, in your internal life, as it resonates there in your internal life, in the high priestess energy here, in that inner knowing and that inner exploration and mining of self. I'm also getting here where I'm getting here, you get to learn so much more about yourself. But it's supported here in the rituals and what you do to support that, to allow that to happen. You can't learn about yourself and really get to dig in deep within yourself if you don't say, like, make the time. If you don't prioritize saying, okay, well, I know I get off work or I jump offline at, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So now I'm going to take from 6 to 7. I'm going to take this hour here to meditate. I'm going to take this hour here to just reflect, write some stuff down. Like, if you don't do that, it's not going to happen. And as such, you're not going to be well acclimated here in this new normal. Things have to change. You cannot stay... Interesting, yeah. They're telling me that, especially in the tower energy. Yeah. This has happened to us to force change. It wasn't just to sort of hermit us within our home when we're on the couch, overeating, and playing video games, and then that's done. No, it was supposed to, inspire some change. It has shifted our earth scale, our global scale, our structural scales. You need to shift with it. And stop cycling here in what no longer is. In the Six of Cups energy. Stop getting caught up here in past memories and past resonances here. We're moving along. You move with it. Oh, interesting. Sorry, that sounds kind of harsh. Yeah, I'm getting a mandate here. Yeah, that energy and that notion here as a mandate here, it would make sense here in the Emperor energy. There's a certain discipline. There's a discipline. Yeah, there's a disciplinarian energy kind of coming in here in this that I'm feeling coming very strongly here in this Emperor energy. It's not just a gentle suggestion. It's like a divine mandate. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. All right. The messages of love, light, healing, and wisdom for our collective for June. Led as always and channeled as always by my own intuition. Ooh, Six of Pentacles. Oh, wow, this is beautiful. The more you adapt to these changes and give over and lend your energy to these changes, the more you also reap benefits and receive amidst all these changes. Oh, I see. The more you keep yourself receptive. Oh, interesting. I'm getting such an interesting synchronicity here. So again, I mentioned here before here, there was this sort of dual notion here, especially in those divergent energetic in those energetic pathways between the heartbreaking, caught up in the loss, caught up in the bad shit here, the Three of Swords energy, and then on the other side here of the expansive, beautiful, collaborative masterwork here that's coming in here in the Three of Pentacles energy. Similarly, that is the axis here in those two divergent paths as it resonates there from the Six of Cups on the one side here to the Six of Pentacles on the other side of it. And there's also a notion here, you'll notice from this journey here from the 3 to the 6. I was speaking earlier to the expansion of it all. Yeah, that's the journey that gets to be, that's the opportunity that gets to be, that gets to come in for you here. The more that you orient yourself here on the side here of a newfound learning, a newfound creative ventures and business ventures and just earth-based ventures there in working with others and learning something new. Also necessarily in learning more about yourself on a deeper level. And also supporting that with rituals, with practice, with discipline. Being very straightforward and clear here, not just sort of speaking to it hypothetically, but also the very tangible doing it. This is the expansive journey. Yeah, this is the axis here of expansion that comes in this space in June. It builds on top of itself. As much that you give, yeah, because there's a neutral, there's a beautiful, loving, there's a beautiful, lovely kind of equal exchange. Yeah, I'm getting that in the Six of Pentacles energy. It's really speaking to the equal exchange. Yeah, and really what gets to happen there in that equal exchange. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. There's also a promise here. Yeah. There's also a promise here where in that divergent path that really is more aligned, that really is more suited here, certainly as it resonates there in your beautiful, abundant, fertile, just co-creative resonance and presence here on earth. There's a notion here where those collaborations, yeah, because Three of Pentacles energy there, among other things, it's building to like masterwork, collaborative work, that kind of thing there. I was speaking earlier to like new ventures with others in that space there. There's a notion here where there's an equal give and receive. There's an equal give and take, a lending and a lending out and a receiving in that comes in that space. And also, yeah, because in a lot of ways also this, this could be necessarily a notion there as far as working with others, or it could really, from as it comes here in the ideas and the learning and the new learning process and new business ventures and that kind of thing. But it also really, again, because the High Priestess energy, there's such an internal axis here of self-exploration and mining within self. But whatever ways there, it could be in the combination of those, one way or the other. I'm getting though where in the June, especially in June moving forward, I'm really getting there where the community, the collaborative community, tangible way there really serves well there. But in any case there, whatever combination of that works, resonates for you and that will be manifested for you. There's a notion here where you give as much, there's two things here. You receive as much as you put out. So if you put out much, you also receive much. There's that opportunity. But the notion of it is how the real reaped reward here and blessing here comes into what you put into it. And again, I'm getting here very strongly in this Emperor energy here. It's supported in your rituals. It's supported in your practices. It's supported in in the real tangible. Like, let's getting away from just the hypothetical talking about it and being about it, doing it. Like, cut it out. The time is now. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, yeah. This time frame, interesting. I'm also getting where in June here, this time frame here is really going to benefit the doers. The ones who step up to the plate. If you haven't already, it could very well be there in your place of seclusion where maybe you've kind of have ideas percolating, you've reflected, you've kind of had you've had these developments more bubbling beneath the surface. And now we're in your newfound rituals and practices here. It's more coming out here. It's more manifesting. You see the rewards of it, more manifesting in intangible ways there, in measurable sort of ways there. Yeah. Yeah, again, I'm just getting here where you're moving harmoniously. This is moving harmoniously with the tides of change. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, but don't try to hold on to past memories. Don't try to hold on to how things used to be and shoot into over sentimentality in the Four of Pentacles energy of how things used to be. That's done. That's done away with. It's for good reason. Interesting. And I'm also getting there where you ask for help. Ask for help. Yeah, because in that axis there of the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, especially here in the Three of Pentacles energy, there's a notion here where in that work there, everybody has their own skill set. Everybody has their own unique expertise, their own thing that they're bringing to the table. Yeah. So in supporting that expansion for yourself, ask for help. In the Six of Pentacles energy, ask for help. Be open also to receiving it. Yeah, I'm drawn to the stance of the man here. They're drawing me to the stance here, where his arms are wide open. They're open, they're receptive, they're rejoicing, they're exalted. Yeah, be open to that help. In so fact, you're not going to do this alone. Interesting. 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 Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, I'm getting here where this will be almost just about the end here. The message just seems quite straightforward. But yeah, I'm getting this is just about the end here. So let's see what other last bits of energies and messages want to come through here. Beautiful. Any last messages? Beautiful angels. Okay. Well, are these all ours? Yes. Okay. Got you. Oh, I see. And this closes it out. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So, quite a bit of energies here. All right. So we got Queen of Wands, the World, Prince of Pentacles, King of Cups, Eight of Cups. Okay. Okay, yeah, immediately what's jumping out here in this journey here from the Princess or Page of Pentacles to the Prince of Pentacles here, or Knight of Pentacles here. There's a notion here in their journey here, which would make sense here, because as you expand, as this work here gets to expand and you draw others into, in that, again, I'm getting two different divergent paths here. So in that particular pathway here, what had to come before that was you doing something with it and taking it somewhere. That's where this Prince of Pentacles energy or Knight of Pentacles energy is coming in. Yeah. And the movement here may not have been fast. You may not have been sort of rushing in. You might have found time. You might have given yourself time previously in the High Priestess energy here to reflect on this, to kind of have it perk. Again, I was getting here this axis here of like, this notion here sort of inside yourself, these reflections, these ideas that were kind of within yourself, and now it's kind of offshooting here. It's coming outside of yourself. It's manifesting outside of yourself in creative, tangible ways. Yeah, that's reflected and underpinned here in the journey here from the Princess to the Prince of Pentacles energy. There's a steadfast, slow, deliberate, strategic way there in which you're carrying that energy. Rather carrying those new built upon skill sets, those new built upon business ideas, those new built upon creations here of, okay, all right, I think I want to do this with this, or I want to kind of go here or try this or move here, or there's a steadfast way there in which you're going about it. I see. In the Queen of Wands energy there, I'm getting here wherein, I'm getting a journey here for this Queen of Pentacles energy. Especially the Queen of Wands energy here. Especially as it resonates there and also in combination with the King of Cups. Oh, wow, there was real internal loss here. Oh, I see. There was a real journey. Yeah, I'm getting here in the combination of the High Priestess and the Eight of Cups energy. Yeah. In your steady, steadfast movement forward with your new built upon skill sets and your new business ideas and your new overall ventures of self, it's informed very necessarily here by a journey of loss. And I'm getting here, we're in this Eight of Cups energy here. It could resonate there on many, many different levels. in many different ways. So it could have been in a job loss in the most tangible, practical sense here, because there is a good bit of earthbound, especially with the Emperor energy here, institutions, tangible institutions there. So it very well could have been a job loss. It could very well have been a broken contract or something didn't go well or whatever. Or it could have been, yeah, because that's where then this world energy is also is jumping out there and really underpinning that loss here and that journey here could have been within amongst unions with others. Oh, wow. I'm also getting here, interestingly enough, on the one side here, there is this divergent past there as far as being caught up. On the one side there, especially is coming out there for June. A notion here where you're caught up in the nostalgia and you're caught up in the bad news, you're caught up in your disappointments of the past. I'm also getting there though in this reflection and journeying that's been made here in the Eight of Cups energy as it combines there in the High Priestess energy. How that in so fact, yeah, and also a subsequent mastery of emotions. Interesting. And the King of Cups energy. Yeah, yeah. I'm getting there. Yeah, I'm getting there wherein, yeah, perhaps in the Four of Pentacles energy there, you might have held on to it for a good bit of time. And you still might be holding on to it now. And especially as it resonates there in the Prince of Pentacles or Knight of Pentacles energy. Again, that's a very slow, steady, one step at a time moving energy. I see. So there's a notion here where you take ease on yourself and you be easy on yourself. Yeah, I'm getting that in the King of Cups energy. Honor those feelings. Honor all that has been destroyed. Honor that all that's been done away with. So much as you're doing something, yeah. So much as you're doing something and you're allowing and giving fruit here for your new ideas to flourish, and you take, again, some tangible steps here, because these realistic, tangible steps there, as it resonates there in the Emperor energy, they don't have to be extraordinary, especially in this combination between the Prince of Pentacles and the Emperor energy. It does not need to be this fast-moving, like, oh, I'm rushing in with, like a bull in a china shop kind of energy. I'm actually getting there where that's actually not where it comes in here. And you very well might be keeping a lot of this to yourself in the High Priestess energy. I'm getting that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it's almost like the steps here are being dripped out to you. They're kind of drip dropping out here. It's steady and it's one step at a time, but it's almost like your secrecy and you kind of keeping the cards to your chest here. And if there are people here that you're getting involved here, it's very strategic, it's very specific. It's serving a very specific purpose here in the Three of Pentacles energy. But yeah, on the deeper soul level here, there was a loss here. With all that shifted in the Tower energy here, in this Tower energy, and all in the massive insights. Oh, interesting. That just jumped out here. In the combination of the High Priestess and the Tower energy, you got to, yeah, the massive like downloads and insights and notions that came there. Yeah, I'm almost getting like a sunburn. You know, like when you're sunburn, like your skin's kind of raw. I'm getting that, but it's resonating there emotionally, internally. Like internally, you might be in a notion here where like emotionally you're sunburned. So you're trying to like apply the aloe vera like really calm and steadily and like nurse the wound in a very steady sort of way there. You're not rushing. Yeah, I see. And a lot of that is to gain some sort of internal equilibrium in the King of Cups energy. But I'm getting there in the Queen of Cups, in the Queen of Wands energy there. There is a certain initiative that you have here. There's a burning desire, there's a burgeoning desire here that you also have. At the very least, if even in steadfast, one step at a time ways, still to do something and still to make a steady movement onward within the new normal. Because again, in this world energy, yeah, this is speaking to a closed out cycle. This world energy, in all that's closed out, again, this was coming out here. There's no coming back. And how you've shown up and how, those relationships that you may have had with others and all that's been destroyed and that has shifted, you're not going back. In your work structures here and that, your work structures, your presence of being here, it's not the same. And it serves for good reason. It's supporting your wholeness. It's supporting a whole transformation. Yeah, it's just also confirming here in this space in the world energy, there was a larger divine energetic conspiracy that brought this forth and allowed for this to happen, that supported in allowing this process to happen. Yeah. So in that way, in what's been destroyed in the past, you form new contracts, new agreements. Not only as it resonates there in the tangible ways there, in community with others and business opportunities and such. If for some reason I'm getting a lot of business, a lot of community building, just a lot of the tangible work, tangible places there around creation. And it would make sense because in all this recession here, you're incentivized. It builds an incentive. Oh, I see. It builds an incentive. I see. So in a lot of ways, for a lot of folks here in this Queen of Wands energy, this initiative, this passionate endeavor here that you're making here, it very well could be just from your own independent desires and inspirations and creativity there that you're allowing to sort of let itself build and move forward there. But it could also be based in necessity. To say, well, okay, well, for example, like my old job that I had here or this way of working and making money, like clearly that's not working anymore, or at least it's not going to be returned back to normal in any given new immediate time frame. So what do I do now with this? Oh, I see. Interesting. Yeah. In my tangible work there, in my tangible initiative here, what also does this world and this existence here have to offer? Oh, I see. I see. I'm getting that in the combination of the Six of Pentacles and the world energy. What do I have to offer, and what does this new world structure and order and new normal have to offer? What does it get to bring? And a lot of that is unknown. Yeah, that's resonating there in the High Priestess energy. A lot of this is unfolding and making itself clear and known in due time. Yeah, but dear children, in how you adapt to this new normal, a key axis of this is in discipline, it's in discipline and initiative. And also in the peaceful, most fundamentally, in the peaceful and accepting understanding here that we're not going back to the past. It was within divine order and agreement here that those shifts, that the sort of the ground zero here of this cataclysmic world event that hit us all, indiscriminately in this tower energy, it served for good reason. Yeah. So if you haven't stepped into discipline and rituals there, and connecting within self and maybe writing down your new ideas there, maybe kind of reaching out and making your initial contacts and such and doing something with this, you might find in June an initiative here, an inspiration here and a forthrightness there in doing so. And lending passionate, attentive care and attention to that. And also on the emotional level here, getting to a place of equilibrium and balance here in this new normal. Oh, and also following what's within your heart. Coming into a place, yeah, you listen to your heart a little bit more. You allow your hearts. Interesting. That's common. That's jumping out here in combination then also with the Three of Pentacles energy, because on a soul level here, this energy it can speak to sort of collaborations with others and community members and in business, but it can also really speak to that unity there between that unity, that co-creation there between mind, body, and spirits. So I'm getting here. There's another opportunity here in this King of Cups energy here, wherein yeah. There's a meeting place here as much within heart space as within mind space, the logical space. And how essentially this informs the new normal and how you operate and move forward in the new normal. Yeah. I'm getting there where there's the opportunity where there's that fertile union between those two spaces. And that also would necessarily jump out there in this in the combination of the high priestess and the emperor energy. Yeah. There's a resonance in a space here where in what you create and how we move forward here and how you negotiate this new normal, it's as much based in what is deep, deep, deep within what you know what's within, what makes sense to you, what also necessarily feels right, as it would jump out here in the King of Cups energy, as it relates to the tangible, the practical, the tangible here of what you can see, measure, and perceive. Yeah. But again, in closing, know that this universe here and all that has transpired, it served to lend you something new. There wasn't a robbing here. There was a brushed over lens space here where something new can be offered. Give yourself and be open and receptive in receiving it. And also in your gifts, in your new burgeoning learning opportunities and spaces, be willing also to give that also to others. And let that also in the universe and in this larger global scale. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting that's it. So, as always, I hope that helps you. Yeah, I love you all dearly. Hope that helped you all. Take care. Bye.